welcome to PRA Wreckfest Week 2 of the Gold Series. I am here, your host AY for tonight with Bumsgag. How are you doing, Bum? I am doing good. Little bit of complications. There we go. Yeah, tough tracks tonight. Coming out of the Silver Series, some rough races. Bum, how did you fare in your races?
Well, about the same, honestly. It's a Dry Town is a pretty rough track. It's small, pretty tight and compact. Burwood Motor Center's a little more open, a little spaced out. I didn't do too bad. I placed where I thought I should have placed, so everything was good.
Well, yeah, we've got some tough tracks tonight, but we are in the Gold Series, so we've got some of the best drivers on the track. So, our debrief, our first race tonight is Furwood Motor Center Rally Circuit. This is the first time PRA has ever raced on this configuration of the track. Some of the drivers have really been struggling to get it down, but practice, a lot of people have been putting in a lot of practice. How about you, Bum?
Yeah, Furwood's a track where these guys they're gonna get spaced out. They're gonna find their groove. It's pretty good lines here. If you mistake one of your lines, you're gonna pay, of course, and people are gonna catch up to you.
Yeah. So, what do you think are some of the toughest parts of this track?
So obviously, the first turn after the start-finish line, you don't want to float out too far. You want to keep a middle to inside line, and you want to keep your revs up. And then, of course, the right-hand turn uphill, where you go from concrete to dirt, is a very tricky one. And then there's the hairpin in the middle of the track that is just, it's a killer if you take it wrong. It'll kill your time.
Yeah, I'd definitely call out that second turn, not the first hairpin, but the left-hander, as we see Carbon and Zuri's. Also, welcome to our silver drivers tonight, the Pizza Man. Last week he was an Open Series, sweeped Open Series, and Gold and Bronze Series, and then put in a great showing in silver. So now this week he's finally broken through with a win at, it was Dry Town he won at, correct?
Oh yeah, yep. He won at Dry Town. Man, this guy is coming on strong this year. He is proving his worth, moving up the rankings, and doing a great job.
Dry Town. But yeah, I definitely think he's doing a great job. The other guy we have coming up this week with him is Colt Chevy. He already came up last week. So
Colt's one of those drivers that is just insanely fast. Very accurate and insanely fast. All around nice guy, and it's really fun to watch him race. It's real fun.
Well, that's awesome. Right now we are in qualifying. Fastest lap currently is Colt Chevy. Speak of the man himself.
Right.
As W's right on his tail, but Colt coming in with the first couple laps, and with the gold guys putting up the fastest lap.
So, I'm going through these paint schemes here. AY, which one do you like?
Spiders looks pretty nice, I think. Bright.
Okay, I could buy that. I like Frylock's. Frylock's yellow's pretty good. And I noticed Ty has actually switched his colors this week.
Oh yeah, out of green. We're in the yellow.
That's right. That looks really good. That looks really good on Ty.
I think he realized that the green was starting to pop out a bit too much. So for this race, as we're getting towards the end of the qualifying, who do you have your eyes on for this race?
We all have our favorite drivers. Everybody's got their friends and whatnot. I like Frylock, and I'd like to see Captain pull out a win here.
Yeah, all right. For me, this race, I know it's Better's favorite, but for this one, last week he missed out on getting a win despite two great performances in second place and an unfortunate wreck out in Pine Hills, but my pick for this first race at Furwood's got to be W.
Obviously. That's a... Yep.
I know it's the obvious pick, but I think he's going to be hungry coming in this week after not getting a win last week.
Yeah, and Zuri's is gonna ride his tail all night.
Well, Zuri's is another guy who's going to be for a win. I mean, he got one last week at the Dirt Oval, but the Pine Hills race went similarly for him, unfortunately.
Yeah, Zuri's put a great move on W at the Dirt Oval, and took that win. We'll see what happens tonight. Give W's out there to get that
currently
W.
we've got W sitting on pole with Frylock putting in a great time also in the 46s.
Nice.
Is anyone else gonna? I mean, Colt currently, as I said, Colt's holding third place in the stands at the moment. And hello, Oscar in the chat. Yes, you do hear a bum skag.
Yeah.
We're both happy to be in the booth tonight.
This is, looking at these times, a 1.3 second difference from first to 13th.
I mean, Colt coming in impressing. So W, Fry, Colt, Zuri's, and Little Zombie are your top five. Little Zombie also came in last week. This is his first season with PRA, and in his first week he gets a win.
And he is very impressive, very fast.
Indeed. Well, as we sit here waiting for the race to start, do you have anything you want to talk about? Any driver? Any?
I'm just trying to think how this race is going to play out in my head. Trying to guess who's gonna get the inside line on some of these corners, who's gonna be pushing someone out a little bit. This track's obviously gonna be a little bit cleaner than the other one, than the Drytown track.
We'll be getting there. Our second race tonight. Yeah. I might mention that we are running 15 laps here at Furwood Motor Center. Now you might be thinking that's a short amount of laps for a PRA race, especially unless it's like a very long track. Well, that's because after this, we've got a 40-lap special at Drytown Desert.
The Enduro
race. Tight track, challenging. Every single turn, you're going to have people bumping on you. So stay tuned, everyone, for that second race. I think that race is going to be a lot more chaotic than this one, though this one sure is to bring some chaos, too.
All right, they're going to get these guys lined up. Let me get my camera set correctly. Nelson's going to come up to the front.
Yeah, our lovely official tonight, Millsy, who also put a great performance in silver tonight.
Millsy was running hard, He
was.
This track and any other track, one small mistake is all it takes. This is going to be who can run the clean laps, who can run their line.
Well, I think this week
type race, I think.
I think this week is really going to tell us a lot about how this championship is going to shake up, since week one proved us in the past we've had series where it's like one or two horse race at the front and then everyone fighting in the mid-pack. I think this season with a lot more faster talent in here and a lot of current guys who have really stepped up their game and coming in surprising, I think it's going to be a lot more tighter fight for gold this season.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. With the talent in here, it's, we race with these guys every night during practice lobbies and whatnot, and these guys are really competitive, and each one of them wants to win, so there'll be some good, fast, clean racing here, I think.
Well, as I mentioned, Zombie with the win in the second race last week, he actually sits on top of our point standings along with W. So the newcomer rising to the top.
Yes.
Who are you going to watch on board here as we get started? Who do you think is going to be?
I'm going to go to the middle of the pack here. I'm going to go on Ty. And I'm going to see how the middle of the pack handles these corners.
All right. Well, I'll be keeping my eye on this front pack here of W, Fry, Colt, and Chevy. Bum, take us to the green.
All right. Milsey's going to stop him. Are we going to get another lap? Oh, he's waiting for Little Zombie to line up.
All right.
And our pace car is going to pull off. W and Frylock, they're coming to the line. And we're green, we're green. They're off, they're running.
W takes the first turn. Colt giving Fry the little bump. This is what W wants to see. See if he can get that early lead. Let his own speed take him through.
We got some bumping going on in the back. Pretty clean so far. Pretty clean racing.
Yeah. Colt under this inside of Zuri's and Zombie going 3 wide. A lot of 2-3 wides through the uphill section.
Yeah, these first few laps, they're going to be tightly packed. They're going to start spacing themselves out here. If not this next lap, but definitely in the next couple laps here, we're going to see some spacing going on, and then it's going to be a hot lap competition, I think.
Well, I don't know if the pack stays the way it is right now. I said a lot of these guys are closer in speed than they ever have been, so I'm not sure we're going to quite see the spread. And we're seeing it with the leaders right now.
We're seeing it with the leaders, yep.
As you expect, W taking off. Fry holding his own in second. Ty coming on the inside of Colt.
He is trying to put the move.
Let's see who gets it here. Ty is going to make the move. Will Colt stick it? He won't, but let's see if he gets a run into the final corner here.
Zuri's trying to put the moves on Fry. I'm going to stick.
We're now on board with Zuri's. Here he comes into the first turn. Let's see if he can. Not quite, but he's on his tail. You know, Zuri's really wants to get back up front.
Yep. Zuri's is a patient driver. Zuri's is going to pick his time, and he's going to make a move. He's not going to rush anything. He's going to play this smart.
Now on board with Captain, watching this mid-pack going on, as we've got the Pizza Man up in 9th, holding his own. The Open Series to Gold Series driver. We've got Zombie coming on the inside of Squeller.
Zombie's
in the final turn.
Squeller cannot get the crossover.
Well, as we're getting into the 5th lap of this race, it is starting, as you said, it is starting to spread out a little bit.
They're getting lined out pretty good here.
Teague looking at Squeller.
Falcon tapped the wall, slowed him down. Just the hair. Captain's going to take that position on the inside. No.
Well, we might be 3 wide here. Westberg's going to try to send it in.
Captain's
and he will get Captain. W is pretty much saying, "Hey, I'm the fast guy. I'm going to check out." As Fry's following him. Fry's following him with the checkout.
Zuri is riding Frylock. He is just putting the pressure on hard.
Well, yeah, you're right. Zuri is still on him, actually. Waiting for Fry to make a mistake somewhere.
He is completely waiting. Running his line.
Currently, W also holds the fastest lap with a 47.0. Benefits of having clean air.
Yeah, clean air is a blessing.
Let's take a look through the field, see if anything else is going on. Spider and Zombie, 2 very fast guys. Spider coming over from the Global Series last season. And as I said, Zombie currently tied points leader. Fight for 5th.
Spider's going to hold him off through that turn.
Let's see if Zombie can make a move up here. Spider's still going to hold his line. Ooh, gets it wrong a little bit.
He did a little bit, just a little bit off.
Oh, someone got an overtake up there. It's Teague and Carbon 2 wide into the turn, into the uphill turn. Yeah, Zuri's got Fry, finally. Zuri's found the spot that Fry was going to slip up, and he took it. So Zuri's
Yeah.
takes second, and he's going to try to check out now. See if he can hunt down W even. Pretty tall task, as W goes down to the 46.8.
Now, I like to follow. I really like to follow. I feel that I'm a faster racer personally when I follow somebody. Let's see if Frylock can run down Zuri's and take that
Right
position
now,
back.
we still have Captain and Carbon. Carbon hits the wall. Captain is going to take 10th. Oh, there's a little lag. I think everyone's good. We still got this pretty tight battle in the back.
Yeah, these guys in the back are really going at it. I see they're
Wired
staying
taps into
relatively where they are.
Carbon. Nice save by Carbon. The pizza man showing off his skills. With the save there, not just fast, he could also keep the car straight on track. Well, yeah, I think unless a caution comes out, which I currently haven't seen any wrecks or tallies.
Clean all the way through, and Wired puts a move on Carbon.
I see that. I'm watching this from behind. Ooh. And Wired's going to hold them off, as Captain's now looking towards Teague in this final turn. And he's going to get it. And
Oh, Wired, no.
yeah, he hit the wall just a little bit. And here comes Carbon again. Looking at this leaderboard, looking at the standings right now, who do you think, if you're sitting there and as one of these drivers, who do you think, like, who's happiest with where they're at right now?
So, obviously, the first place car is happiest where they're at. There's no doubt about that. But, you know, I don't know. It's hard to tell. They all want to move up. That's a tough call. I think Ty. I think Ty's happy.
Ty's in fourth right now.
He's in fourth, and
holding
he's just
off
running
Zombie.
his line. Yep. He's just running his line, doing his thing.
Ty doesn't give. I don't think Ty gives himself enough credit for how fast he really can be.
Ty has improved so much over the last year. It's unbelievable how much faster he's gotten. But then again, he's putting in the work. He's putting in the work.
Yeah,
he's practiced. And
Ty's told us at times that he doesn't feel like he should be in gold. Well, after these first three races, first two races, he got top 5 finishes.
Ty absolutely deserves to be in gold. And oh no, what happened? Ty is tumbling. Or no, that's lag. That is lag. Wow.
Well, he does have some problems though, as he had his little zombie trailing him down. Do you think with the 4 laps remaining, do you think little zombie can get this move done?
You know, I think if Ty keeps running this line, I believe he can hold him off. Ty's a good defensive driver as well as a good offensive driver.
Indeed, and we have a battle again between Fry and Zuri's.
And you can see Ty's already protecting that inside line. Every corner, he's taking that inside line, and he's protecting it.
We're about to go into the caution cutoff, so it's going to be green to the end.
Yeah. Zombie is going to have a problem.
That's exactly what W wants to see, but we've got battles for second and battle for fourth. It's not completely smooth sailing for everyone here.
And Frylock has caught back up to Zuri's.
Yeah,
I'm going to stick with Frylock for the remainder of the race. I'm going to see if Frylock can get a move on this. Zuri's overtook him earlier in the race, and not quite.
Yeah, this is the battle we're definitely going to watch. Going to want to watch. Well, actually, also with Ty and Zombie, since that's going to have major... If Ty can hold off Zombie, that's going to have major championship implications. Since Zombie's first in the standings right now.
Big time. That's right. Big time.
I mean, yeah, W is the one here who's definitely loving to see all this.
Fry is driving hard. Frylock is driving extremely hard right now. He's pushing it.
He wants it. He's in the position Zuri's was in now, waiting for him to slip up.
Yep, he is. He's pushing this car. Frylock's going to try to run these inside lines
A little
and
bump
overtake
there.
him.
I mean, we
And
say first lap. Yeah, he's side by side.
Nope.
Zuri's gets out of it though. We always say first lap doesn't win the race. Well, now we're getting down to the last lap, so you're going to see a little bit more pushiness from the drivers wanting that one extra spot. Because every spot matters.
Yep. That's right. That's an extra point.
Zombie did get Ty coming into the back straight, as Zombie is going to hope to at least get a little bit more points, stay within range of W. But, I mean, he checked out so quick, he didn't really get too much mention this race as W.
Right.
Still holding the fastest lap. Clean air pretty much the whole time. This is what he wants to see. Fry still on the tail of Zuri's. Fry's the one right now hoping this final turn makes everything as Zuri's, as they're coming into it. But it looks like Zuri's is going to hold on as W wins race 3. And Zuri's holds on to take home second. Fry in third. Zombie did end up pulling from Ty. So Zombie gets fourth, Ty in fifth. Spider in sixth. And as we get the rest of the pack coming up here, Squeller was talking about with how he's had a lot of stuff going on. I think he's happy with 8th, considering he hasn't gotten to practice all that much. I think he's sitting there, he's not going to be too mad at himself for that one.
I'm going to have to agree with you on that. Any of these guys, I think Colt might be a little disappointed in where he ran that race. But in all, I think that was a great race. Everybody lined out pretty good, and we had a few good battles in there.
Yeah, he was up front for quite a lot of it, especially with the impressive qualifying lap. But
W just ran out with it.
Yeah, sometimes you'll also see that. Unfortunate for the silver guys as they get pushed more towards the back. However, Carbon and Colt did work their way up a little bit. They were in the back last two at one point, but they were still fighting to the end. That's what you got to do.
So we're going to get ready for the qualifiers at Drytown Reverse. We got to get W in here.
Yeah, as we're going to get...
Did we get in? You in here
yep.
Real quick. Squeller added, I think W, are you in here? We just want to make sure everybody can hear you. There's W.
There he is. Welcome, W.
W.
So the race winner, finally, after last week, 2 second places, but this week you finally get your first win of the season. I'm sure that feels good.
Yeah, it definitely feels good. Get the relief off my back. Got one down, and we'll see how this one goes.
W, did you ever look in the rear view and just see everybody battling behind you, and you could just have the clean air the entire race?
Oh, I looked back every lap. I promise you that. When I was down the straightaway, I saw Frylock and Zuri's battling, so I love to see it.
Right. Good win, W. Great win,
Thank you.
buddy.
Definitely showing the speed out there with the clean air. Everyone says, I think I can W, knows he can W. Well, this time you're back in the W column.
Yeah, it definitely feels good. That's for sure.
Especially with the struggles you had. I mean, Pine Hills, you had a great save. Unfortunate events, but you fought all the way back up to second. This time you didn't have to worry about any traffic getting wrecked or anything.
Yeah, it was definitely nice to have the clean air for sure.
Awesome.
All right.
Well, good to hear
good luck
from you, W.
Good luck at Drytown, bud.
All right, thank you,
good
guys.
luck with this race.
Thank you.
Oh, AY, that was exciting. My first commentary, and I think that was pretty exciting.
I think so. I mean, for you kind of called it spaced out a little bit, but that didn't mean there weren't at all any battles, especially some important ones toward the front.
I highly doubt we're going to see that at Dry Town where they space out. There's going to be some good bunching up. There's going to be some good battles. And with 40 laps, this is really anybody's race.
Yeah, Dry Town is definitely one of the tighter tracks on the game. And believe it or not, this actually is not the first time we've run here. This is the second time. Our first time was a couple years ago in 2020. Old Season 4, Round 3. To the audience, I believe I told you, Bum, but to the audience, I have a trivia question for you. Who do you think won that race? I'll get back to y'all in a minute. But who do you see coming out of this one?
Man, as we saw in the Silver Race and the Bronze Race and the Open Series, this is really anybody's race. With a late caution or a mid caution, anything on the restarts. It's hard to say, really. I mean, you could pick any one of these drivers to win this race.
Definitely, I think this race is going to be a lot more hectic. And I mean, in the Bronze Race and the Open Race so far, and in the Silver Race, I feel like we had some pretty surprising results, some last-second twists.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
This time, I'm expecting it again. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say my pick for this race is going to be surprise winner of last week. I think Zombie gets back in the win column and gets those points back towards W.
If I had to pick one driver, absolutely had to pick one driver, so tough. You know, I know who I want to win. I want Frylock to win. I'd love to see Cap to win, but you know what? I'm going to go with Ty. I'm going to go with Ty Hard. Ty has an incredible ability to come from behind.
Also, as you mentioned, he's a very great defensive driver, and he's a bit harder of a driver, so on a tighter track, it's tougher to get around.
He is.
We're waiting for Ty to get back in the server before we start. It wouldn't be a great start if your pick was...
Did they just kick Ty out? Did they just kick Ty out of the server? That's hilarious.
Love you, Ty.
Oh, man.
But yeah, I think that's a very, as long as he's in here, I think that's a very strong pick. Especially, I mean, he's not afraid. A lot of these guys aren't afraid to send it up the inside, especially with we got that last hairpin. So speaking of that hairpin, let's talk about this track. Where are the places to watch on this track?
So obviously the entire track needs to be watched.
I mean,
like Colt was saying, the tires that don't budge. As far as the corners, I always watch the first 90-degree turn, the one that they're coming up to right here, and then of course that hairpin right before the start-finish line. It's if you hit that wall wrong, you're done. It'll stop you dead in your tracks, or it'll spin you around 100%.
Yeah, definitely my areas to watch, definitely the yellow tires coming out of the second straight. The one Zombie just passed. When you come over the bridge, those tires claim quite a lot of lives.
Yes, and you know, there's such a tight line close to those tires. It's a it's high risk, high reward coming around some of these corners. The leader, of course, is more than likely going to take a more conservative line, just to make sure they don't get wrecked out or spinned out on those tires.
Yeah, I think especially with how small and tight a track this is, a lot of fighting is going to cause a lot of the guys towards the back to fight and slow themselves up. So unlike last race, I think if whoever's in the lead, I definitely don't necessarily think checking out is always going to be the best option.
Oh, absolutely not. Like I was saying earlier, there's going to be some cautions here. I would expect probably, I'm going to go out on a limb and say 2 cautions minimum. And if they come late, it's going to be anybody's race.
For sure. Well, as we're getting through this qualifying, as W currently holds the pole time with Spider in second and Zombie in third, 3 very fast guys in this game. Zuri is in fourth as well. I'm a pace back to that trivia question. So last time we ran Dry Town was in the middle of 2020, where our winner of that race was our man himself, B-Dog, back when he was still on the track.
Wow. Going way back on that one.
But yeah, tempers can flare here with all the chaos, so this isn't a track you're going to see on the calendar often. This is the first time it's come back since then. So, do you think this is something that will stick, or do you think this is just going to be... I was tentative about this track, but a lot of the drivers I talked to were actually pretty happy to see it on the calendar.
I was the same way. I was very tentative about this track. But after you actually complete the race, or even in practice, it's not as bad as everyone thinks it is. It's a fun track. It's fast. It'll wear your hand out, I'll tell you that. Yeah, with the controller and the constant movement. Will it stick? I mean, that's hard to say. I think it could stick. I think it absolutely could.
Well, definitely with the chaos tonight, it's sure to provide some fun. As W holds on to his pole, Zombie does take second from Spider, though.
Zombie's just so fast. So fast.
And as the main man, legend of PRA already, Oscar, he's definitely right. Don't forget to tickle that like button, as he said, for all of you watching. And also, while we've got some time before the main race, I would also like to remind or inform everyone that with our partnership series with Strictly Business, the second episode of Strictly Business Racing series powered by PRA is now out on Strictly Business's YouTube. So go check it out if you haven't already.
It's a great race with trophy trucks. A very difficult vehicle to control.
That's right. Definitely some chaotic moments in there on Savalac Short. So definitely exciting race. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. Definitely also as well, as I've already mentioned with Dry Town and Furwood, I think this is a very cool switch up this week. These are two tracks that, as we mentioned, we don't really see too often.
The thing I like about the lineup this week is you go from a track where your competition is more spaced out, you get in a more linear form, to a track that's tighter, where you can't go 3 or 4 wide around corners, and if you do, I mean, you're taking a huge risk.
You're definitely right about that, as I believe we have something going on. We'll try to restart that.
Reline up?
Yep.
I wonder what happened here.
Not quite sure, but it's all right. We'll back up.
Milsey had to change the rules.
Well, there you go. Speaking of, 40 laps this race. All this tight track, it's not just a short little race. We've got 40 laps of these guys to survive. As I've talked about with a lot of people this week, the main goal here might not even be to necessarily be the fastest guy. You just got to be the best at surviving long enough.
That's very true, AY. You got to pick your spots here. This isn't one of those tracks where you can't win it on the first lap, obviously. But you got to pick your spots here. You got to know when to pass, when to take that risk, and it's going to be consistency, and restarts are going to play a part in this, I feel.
I definitely think so too. As this main start, we're gonna have I'm sure we're gonna have more than one start to call.
AY, I'll give you the green on this one, bud.
All right. Well, our great race official yet again, Millsy, up there in the yellow Speedy, is doing a great job of getting everyone sorted out and situated to get this race under green for 40 laps. I think the 40 laps looks daunting because of how challenging of a track it is, when really the lap times here, it's not like it's long lap times. So
Right.
40
Right.
laps feels like an eternity until it's over.
It does. And, you know, when you're on lap 20, 25 and your controller's starting to get pretty sweaty, you know?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes at the very end of the race, as I've mentioned in the last race, you're pushing super hard to get that extra spot, and sometimes you'll slip up at the end of the race. And the end of the race is not when you want to slip up.
No.
I've made that mistake in Silver Series, which also, if you haven't seen that live stream, be sure to check it out after this. Also, 2 very great races. Well, here's Zombie. I'm not hating this start, since I don't think the outside punishes you as much as it does, as we get everyone through the hairpin double file, as Millsy is about to call us to green, green, green. We're off and racing here at Dry Town Desert as W takes off. Zombie trying to stick in there, though, as he doesn't want W to check out like he did last race. Everyone makes it out alive, it seems. Great job by the Gold Series drivers. This is why they're the best, not taking everyone out and dying on the first lap, as we have 4 wide back here going through the tunnel.
4 wide
is beat banging.
So dangerous.
Yeah, I don't know how they made that work.
It. These guys have the skills to do it.
Here comes Zombie, as said that hairpin is definitely the overtaking spot on this track if you get your nose in. Zombie's breathing down the neck of W, waiting for him to make a mistake. The W does not make a mistake often.
Oh, Wired's around.
Oh, Wired's around. So we're already gonna have 1 tally, I believe.
Tally 1.
And so we still have a fight pretty much everywhere. Still, Zuri's and Frylock back at it, fighting again. Zombie, let's see if Zombie can get in on W this time. He's gonna try. But W just holds on. As there's a 3 wide up here with Zuri's, Frylock, and Captain. Zuri's and Frylock fighting after all that fighting last race. They are quite accustomed to each other's back bumper.
Absolutely. These guys are... It's fun to watch these guys push at it like they are.
Squeller trying to overtake Ty through the bridge. Yeah, poor Wire. As I see Teague back here, too. I wonder if something happened to Teague.
I wouldn't... Teague will analyze the drivers in front of him. And he's like Zuri's. He's going to analyze the race. He's going to pick his spots. Teague's one of those drivers.
Oh, we're already under caution. I guess that was 1 and 2 for Wired and Teague. So I believe it's after we run 2 cautions, we've discussed that we're going to break into 3 tallies. So currently on the road course, it's just 2 tallies, which on a road course is just 1 car spinning around. But we're just getting situated in this long race. Already got our first restart, lap 5. Look at the pizza man up here working his way to the second row.
This is his track. He likes this track.
I know he does. I said, coming up here, probably one of the most impressive weeks of driving we've seen in a while. As we come back through the hairpin, gonna hear say us a lot. We're about to go back green, green, green.
W's gonna bring him to the line.
Yep. And we're off.
Green.
Let's see if W gets as clean as a restart as he did the race start. Zombie's holding it a little closer. Let's see if we can make it all up.
Napkins.
Oh, someone's
Napkins.
Yeah, Napkins is around.
And there are no tallies on the restart.
Yeah, I would say unlucky. It is unfortunate, but we're 4 wide again through the bridge. As someone else around, it is Zuri's. Zuri's is around.
That is really unfortunate to see Zuri's around.
Yeah, especially after the second race last week. He had similar unfortunate turn events. But for these guys, as we talked about, we're going to have quite a few more cautions, I'm sure, as tallies are now back on. We're still 3 wide here. Ty, Carbon, and Fry. Zombie trying to get his nose in. And he's going to somehow
Frylock's got to go on the inside.
These guys are somehow making this stick. Such impressive driving out here.
These guys have the skill to do this. This is super impressive to see these guys run these tight lines.
Well,
like
as W sitting here thinking about last race, now he's thinking this is deja vu.
If he can get out there and let these guys battle it out.
But as you've mentioned,
easy peasy for him.
It's not going to be smooth sailing forever, depending on what happens in the back of the pack. As Captain and Azuri's are probably sitting here thinking, well, I've still got to put my try in, since waiting for another caution to come out. With how these guys are fighting, and as great of these drivers are, eventually they'll run into each other at some point.
This is a long race. These guys know that they'll work their way up little by little, and when that caution hits, then they'll make their move right away again.
Especially point proven, as Teague, who we just talked about being towards the back with that first restart, is all the way back up to 4th.
Teague is something special.
As he gets a beautiful undercut on the Pizza Man.
Oh no, Wired hits the wall, and Zuri's actually straightened him out.
Oh, wow.
Zuri is giving Wired a little helping hand there.
We still got this battle for 4th. I'm watching this. The wild battle for 4th is Carbon, Fry, and Teague keep jostling positions. As Carbon hits the tires but gets away with it.
And Squeller, oh no, he just couldn't make the turn. He was looking to overtake 3 positions there and just couldn't make the turn.
There's a lot of these spots on this track where you can just dive your nose in, or someone runs wide. Got the perfect undercut opportunity. As this battle for 4th, I'd say, is dying down.
Ty is sticking his nose right in there.
That's right. As Squeller says, hey, I've got more lives to live.
Yep, and Squeller
but he's
says,
coming
I'm
back
taking
in.
it back.
Let's see if they take 2 wide through this section. Very risky to do. But they make it work. As Fry, I believe that is, got a little bumped off the track. I don't know if that's... I doubt that will be called as a tally, though. W's happy as he can be, honestly.
Oh, absolutely. He's just up there running his line and letting everybody else behind him battle it out.
I didn't think this track was going to let him check out that much, but at the same time, anything can happen on this track in just a flick of a switch.
So I'm riding along with Squeller and Ty. These guys have swapped positions about 3 times in the last lap.
The guy who's loving to see this is Zuri's, as he's on the back of Ty now, making this a 3-way battle. Oh, but Zuri's hits the wall, trying to get the inside. Sometimes the inside's not always there. As Fry's back around again, that's definitely going to be a tally.
No.
Unfortunate for Fry. That should only be tally 1. As Ty, Squeller, and Zuri's are getting really hairy here into the final hairpin. Who's going to get out? This Wire sticking his nose in too. As Squeller's going to come out of it, but not like he's escaped free. As Ty sticks his nose back in. 3 wide under the bridge. Someone's got to back out here, I'm sure.
You would think so.
Well, they make it work. They make it work. This is definitely the battle to watch, as Teague is still trying to hold his own in 5th. Carbon Falcon up in 4th, still holding his own as well. Captain is also seeing this huge battle for, 6th? 5-way battle for 6th here now, as Wired hits the wall a little bit. Opens the door for some of these guys in. Colt saying, hey, if y'all are going to battle, let me in this too. This is where all the fun's at.
It looks like Squeller has opened up a little gap on that pack. It looks like the fighting between them has opened up a little gap for Squeller to run away just a little bit here.
Indeed. If you're Squeller, especially that little pile up coming out of the corner, that's what you want to see. But you still got the speed of Zuri is coming right on your tailpipe. As Wired, again, making it 4 wide into the bridge section. Tell you what, you say, oh, as Colt hits the wall, but Wired saves him. So Colt, you say, or Zuri's, you say he's a very patient driver, but at the same time, he's not afraid, if the opportunity is there, to stick a nose in or two, take a spot.
Absolutely not.
As he just does on Squeller.
If the driver in front of you leaves the door open, you have to take it.
Right,
Especially on a small track like this.
Zuriz is one of those guys who wait for the he's the opportunist.
Wired's doing a pretty good job of holding Colt Chevy off here.
Yeah. Squeller doesn't want to give this position up too easy to Zuriz. Well, sitting here...
He doesn't want to, but something tells me he's going to have to here pretty soon.
Yeah. Well, this is already an exciting, action-packed race, and we're only on lap 16.
And Wired comes around the corner a little too heavy.
Wired.
And he's off the line. Frylock overtakes him. So it looks like they might be spacing out a little bit here.
Yeah, just a little bit, which is something is off character after the last 3 races we've had here. But Ty's on the back of Jackson.
Jackson and Ty both out! No!
Both of them were pushing super hard, and they both take the tires. That's definitely going to be a caution, though, since we've already had a tally, as yes, W is slowing up. That is an insane wreck, and as I said, one moment in this race can change everything.
Everything.
This is exactly what guys like Spider, Zombie want to see. As W was checking out, and he thought he was going to get away with it this time. But then chaos ensues, as everyone's pushing so hard on each other on this track, and all of a sudden this is a tight pack again. I'd say this is a 12-car race for first. That's what I think this is.
This is absolutely... This is why I liked racing on Dry Town in the Bronze Series race.
Sometimes it could be frustrating.
Coming from behind, it can be,
as a driver. But definitely entertaining. And yeah, you're right. Anyone can slip up. Even the top guys, as great as they are, no one's perfect. As we're about to go back green again here on lap 19. As Carbon's still sitting up here in fourth still. The top 4 stays the same. But Zuriz is right back in this now, only 3 rows back from the lead. As we are...
Yeah, we're going to do another caution lap?
Nope, we're going green. Carbon got caught out a little bit there, but he's going to hold on still. As some people are spinning as Teague hits the tires.
Oh, big wreck.
That might be a full restart.
1, 2, 3 cars. That could be a full restart, absolutely.
As a lot of people were taken out there. But somehow the top 4 still stays unharmed as W is sitting up there yet again. Let's see.
W's just getting these jumps off the start-finish that are really good jumps off the start-finish.
I think we're still green. No. We are going to go full restart. Insane pile up there.
And they're going to give them all their spots back. Yep.
That should be the case.
Their spots back. That should be the case, right?
So I believe this is actually the first time out of any of the races that I know of that we've had the full restart rule come into effect. Of course, this is the track to bring it out. So
I think you're right.
when half the pack wrecks out, we have the full restart rule where our race official can call on the whole pack to restart as they were before the restart. So it's fair for everyone. Basically, if the whole pack wrecks out, I mean, that pretty much takes out the race, and as Fry is giving Colt a little bit of a love
a little bit of a shove. Yeah. He says, "Get in line. I want to race."
Waiting for these guys to go back double file, though Millsy might keep them single. No, looks like we are going back double, as we've had that in a few races. Not in the Silver Series, but I believe in the Bronze and the Open we had single file restarts because of how chaotic the starts can be, as we just saw there coming through the tires. The tires strike again as we get a restart. This time I'm watching from the middle of the pack. See the chaos. I'm watching on Colt.
I'm going to stick on Fry.
Silver winner of Furwood. As we're back underway, who's going to get the inside line? Yep. Whoever can get that inside line. Colt sticking his nose in there. A lot of fight and see if we can make it through this time. Zuriz a little side with a lot of people on the side.
Ty is around.
but it looks like everyone else is staying alive.
They made it.
Well, other than your pick, Ty, which is unfortunate
then,
circumstances. Yep. But again, anything can happen.
And W just got to jump off the gun again, and he's already got a small gap starting to form here.
Whatever happens in this race, it seems W will not be stopped. He said last week.
Yep.
I did not get the W. I know I can W. So this week he's trying to put that 2 W's back in the W column. That's a lot of W's.
A lot of W's, and it's going to be, if he keeps racing like this throughout the years,
as Teague saves it, almost went into the brick of the bridge. That bridge is another tight section where if you're fighting someone, it could all be RIP. As Squeller is big pile up in the hairpin.
Captain and Squeller, Teague, and Chevy pushing each other through there. Everybody wants that inside line. Nobody wants that outside line.
It's all these mid-pack guys, again, fighting for every spot they can get. They're saying, hey, we need all the points we can get whenever we can get them. As
Captain
Teague
giving Teague a little push.
Almost around, but he saves it.
Wired's coming in there saying, let me through. And he's going to try for that inside line. Not quite.
As we're coming back in the hairpin, we have a lot of cars here. Go push through. Who's going to get the line? It's going to be Teague.
Captain.
Well, Teague's the one who got like 2 positions out of that.
2 positions on that, right?
And now he's the one trying to bring down Carbon too. As Teague is almost around. Does he save it? He does. What a save from Teague. That's 2 saves now in the past few races, or in the past few laps. I'm going to take a peek on board towards the front again as W does what he does and checks out again. But we do have, as Zuri is back in the fight here after these restarts, wanting that spot from Spider. He's going to wait for him to make the mistake. As Spider is looking a little bit offline, he might take his opportunity here.
I'm going to jump up there to the front.
W and Zombie have a little breathing room, but Spider does not have breathing room. Zuri makes the beautiful undercut to get third, but will he keep it coming to the hairpin? As he will. But the Pizza Man getting himself back involved, trying to get himself back into the top 5, looking inside of Fry. Doesn't get it though.
These guys are starting to single file out again. It's like the accordion effect. They single file out, they bunch up, they single file out, and then they bunch up again.
Well, this race so far, Silver drivers over halfway through are faring a lot better than they did the first race, as we have both of them back-to-back in 6th and 7th. So these Silver guys are basically saying, hey, we're gonna hold our own in this pack.
Captain has managed to get around Squeller. And W is just gapping it up here.
As you see, he gets quite a gap on Zombie.
Yep, he is.
And this is where Zombie is going to start. Zombie's going to start pushing. Maybe he pushes too hard. That's what Zuri wants to see.
So W can just run his line. He can run his line. He can be up there in the
as we are pretty much single filing now, except for the Canadians, Squeller and Wired. As Squeller is around, hits the wall coming out of the final hairpin. So that's going to be 1 tally on the board. I feel for Squeller, he's doing so good.
He is.
After not being able to practice most of the week, still putting in a great performance, but I hate to see it come out that way. As if you're sitting here now, he's hoping some more anarchy ensues at the front of the pack. As Zuri is we are going into caution. Wow.
And was that Squeller again?
I have no idea. Squeller must have been the 2nd tally. We missed the 1st. But getting 10 laps to go here, this is going to be an intense finish.
Yeah, these guys are going to start driving a little harder now. The patience it's going to start wearing off. You can't.
Squeller is getting his lap back. As W must have checked out so hard that he passed Squeller at some point. But if anything, Squeller's sitting here thinking this might be his lucky break, since who knows what happens in front of him. He's back on the lead lap. Well, if you're Zombie here, what are you thinking? W, on the past few restarts, has built up such a gap. What do you think he's going through his mind now?
Zombie, I think, just has to run his line. He just has to run his line and hit his marks, hit his breaking points. And, I mean, W's just running so good right now. I don't know if Zombie's going to be able to catch him or not.
The thing is, he's going to have to make this... He might play a little more aggressive on this possibly final restart, but we never know. As he's got one more opportunity up on the front row. This time he's got to stick with W. That's his only chance of
I don't know much about Zombie. I don't know I know most of these drivers and what risks they like to take, if they're conservative or whatnot.
That's wild card factor for W2. As we're back underway, Zuri's is the one who wants to take advantage. As Zuri flips up the second.
On the outside of Zombie.
So that outside start at that turn, do we make it through this time? We do.
Now we're going to have a battle for first and second with Zuri's and W. I think this is going to be a good battle here.
As Zuri's, after wrecking out the start of the race, he's pulling what W did last week. W got wrecked early in the race, but he had to fight back all the way to second. Well, Zuri's is now fought back to second in a similar scenario. But the question here is, last time we saw Zuri's tailing W for first and second toward the end of the race, he got him on the last lap at Bloomfield.
Yep. He's going to pick his spot. He's going to run him hard. Like
but
I said,
again,
I think Zuri's is a patient driver.
He's got to push hard, but not too hard to where he takes himself out.
That's right. And Frylock is just loving this. Frylock's hoping that Zuri's can get up there and slow these guys down, slow them two down a little bit.
Yeah, Frylock is waiting intensely as Zombie, starting on the outside of the final restart, actually gets pushed back. That's kind of the unfortunate thing about this first turn. It's basically whoever can get the most inside on that apex is going to push everyone out.
That's right. That's absolutely right.
Well, we're starting to single file again.
Yep.
Do we have any battles for position going on? I mean, Spider, Carbon, and Zombie. Carbon is trying to put up his fight with Zombie. We all know Zombie is very fast, despite being the wild card of this season so far. But the Pizza Man is showing, hey, I am here.
He's definitely here.
First time in
Carbon
gold.
loves this track. I think Carbon really likes this track. He's really good at it.
I could definitely tell.
Ty has gotten around Squeller. So as you see, they're starting to single file out now.
As I'd imagine at this point, we're up to 3 tally cautions, so
Ty hits the wall and is around.
Ty is around.
Ty is around.
Well, there's one of those tallies. Where is he? There he is after the turn coming down, the second hairpin. That one is very tough to get right sometimes. And sometimes you just judge it a little bit wrong.
W's opening up a little gap on Zuri's. Oh, and Spider hit the tires, and he is around.
Oh, Spider.
No, that was Captain.
That's Captain.
No, that was Captain.
Zombie picks off Colt in his fight back up to the front after the poor restart.
I was on Spider.
That's Fry.
And then went to Captain.
Fry now slips up a little bit. Zombie is looking to get him too.
So Fry is way outside on that turn. We have a caution.
We do.
We have a caution.
So it's still, that was second tally. So this is going to be pretty much green to the end on this final restart, barring some insane catastrophe like we had in the middle of the race.
Yes, this is what Zuri's, I think, needed if he wants to win this. W was opening up a gap on him.
That's right. A lot of guys here are smelling blood now for the positions in front of them. And
W wisely picks the inside.
of course. But really, if you're here at this restart, honestly, if you're Fry, you probably had the best position here. If you could dart inside W.
Absolutely, Fry.
Since here,
Frylock
just because you're on the
looking for
inside and you're first, doesn't mean you're in the best position. As we also have our silver drivers wanting to make their mark in gold on the third row together. As we're about to go green for potentially, probably our final restart of the race.
Final restart.
As we go green, Frylock does try to take the inside. Colt,
and so does Colt Chevy coming on the inside.
4 wide through the bridge again. W tries to get away again.
Zombie's going to take Frylock out. Zombie's out.
Correct, but it might not be enough to call a restart. As Zuris does take W, as you said. This is what Zuris wanted. As Zuris makes the pass,
this
is going to be a fight to the end. For the first time tonight, W, it doesn't have clean air in front of him.
He is trailing.
So let's see how he can handle this. As we have Colt around now in the hairpin. And are we under caution? No. So one more lap, I guess.
They could go caution the next lap, if I remember right.
As Zuri's thins off after the hairpin. A lot of battles to watch on this track.
Zuri's is running the more defensive line right now.
As W is going to stick it up
inside.
W is
going to stick it up inside.
These two, this might be the championship battle for the rest of the season. We're watching unfold yet again on track. This is going to be your Hamilton Verstappen from last season. Put your own version of that. As Zuri's
W is trying to hold inside line every corner.
Well, Wire's trying to make a move on Spider and Teague as the middle of the pack still pretty much a 6-car battle for 4th. A lot to watch here. Ty trying to take the inside of Squeller. As we get back up to the front, W tries to stick his nose back in. Obviously no more cautions now since we're at lap 38. These 2 laps are going to make or break a lot of guys on this track, depending on if they can hold on to it. Since there's no more cautions, no more lucky breaks, you've got to hang on. As W tries, but Zuri's going to get a beautiful
crossover.
Yeah, Zuri's with a beautiful crossover.
W is obviously running the fastest.
These guys are ready to put on a show for the end of this race.
And W says, "Move, I'm coming through."
So, lap 40 of 40. This long race has come down to this. After all the cautions, all the chaos, will it be W holding on, or Zuri's making its way back up to get that win? Zuri's tries to get up the inside of the hairpin, coming under the bridge.
W's got.
He's
going to cross him over. What a move!
Undercut. But really, here it's whoever's got the inside line. This is going to be a drag to the finish. W tries to get
W overdrives it.
But W overdrives it. As Zuri's is going to take the win from W. As the rest of the pack, Sweller takes 3rd. What a race for him. Ty takes 4th.
What a race.
Captain 5th. Spider 6th. Poor Fry in the back. After fighting so hard all race, come down to this. Also, Squeller. Shout out to Squeller.
3rd.
As we've talked about, he hasn't had much time to practice, but he is definitely happy with a podium position. I'm
going to get W in here.
Let's get Zuri's and W in here. I'd like to get a few guys in here. Actually, there's a few guys we've definitely got a lot of interesting stuff going on.
Right?
Yes, let's get Zuri's in. Let's get W in. And I'd also like to talk to Squeller, if you don't mind getting him in as well. What a finish to that race.
I can't add Zuri's. It says he's already in the group.
Okay. 1 second. I'm going to let them know.
I also can't add W either.
They're both already in the chat. as we're waiting for these guys to get in here. We've got a lot of guys to talk to after a lot of exciting racing tonight here at this track. We said it would cause chaos, and it indeed has.
Yeah, it looked like at the beginning of the race and towards the middle of the race, the guys were content with running their lines. Towards the middle and the end, the patience had wore off, and the real driving came out.
So obviously Zuri's getting spun at the start, having bad luck. He was getting flashbacks of last week probably, but fights his way through, gets back up to the front, gets that final restart to take the position from W, and he gets it.
It was an amazing race and an amazing move by Zuri at the end.
As
Just
we're going to
being
go
patient
over the
pays
final
off.
results as well. So Zuri's first, W second, Squeller third. That's your podium. A lot to follow. Your man Ty, your pick for the race, ended up finishing fourth. Another top 5 finish for Ty.
And consistency is going to pay off.
And Captain up in fifth in front of Spider and Teague. Teague had a really good race, I'd say, running up front a lot of the time. I'm sure I did. As the pizza man, I'm sure is happy about his result as well. Up in ninth. Poor Colt as well. He's had a little bad luck tonight in the gold, despite running really well in the silver. But Colt's a fast guy, and I'm sure to see him back a few more times in gold this season.
Absolutely. He'll bring it back, and he'll bring it back
also,
faster.
Fry, after all that fighting with Zuri's the first race, all the fighting with Zuri's this race, something must have happened to him at the end that caused...
He was pushed out on the driver's side towards the tires, and he smartly pushed on the brakes to stop from flipping over on them, and he had nowhere to go but the tires at the end.
Do we have Squeller in here as well? In this chat?
For some reason, it's telling me that I can't add.
Okay. 1 second, as there's a few guys we would definitely like to talk to. One moment. Audience, thank you all for sticking around. This race was definitely worth it.
Yeah, I can't add Squeller either. It says he's already in the group.
That's fine. I'm going to send a message and I'll see if at least any of these guys can get in for an interview.
I'm going to send Zuri's another message.
Well, everyone in the audience, that's it for the racing tonight, but please as well stick around if we could still get some voices from the drivers, and a few of the drivers in the race, especially the three podium finishers. As well as if you want more PRA action, be sure to check us out if you don't know already. I'm sure you do. But on Mondays, we will be running the Bronze Series at 8:30 Eastern? Correct?
It's going to be 8 o'clock Eastern.
8 o'clock.
Right. 8 o'clock.
I believe it is 8:30. Then we changed it to 8:30. So keep your eyes for 8 o'clock, but it might be 8:30. And then on Wednesdays, as we had this week, we have Silver Series running at 7 Eastern, and Gold running at 8:30 Eastern. And exciting stuff to look forward to next week is the second race next week is a classic of PRA, Midwest Motor Center. That's always going to put up a good race. Some of the fastest guys have that as their fastest track. But also, we have Kingston returning to the schedule next week. You think this is a tight track?
Kingston's going to be just like Dry Town. It's going to be fun, but it's going to be heck on the drivers.
That is indeed.
I'm going to look at that Bronze Series to make sure I have the correct time.
It might be listed as 8, though I think we might be changing it to 8:30 just for simplicity's sake.
There's Mr.
There's
Zuris.
the race winner of race 2, Zuris. Welcome.
I
Hello?
don't think he has his settings. He might not have his settings.
Well, we should hear him. Zuris, let me know when you copy.
I hear something.
Zuris?
Zuris.
Can you hear?
I hear you now.
There we go.
I hear you, Zuris.
My mic was messing up that whole race.
Well, what a drive. The mic problem definitely doesn't affect the car. I'm sure
Right.
after the wreck out early, I'm sure you're having flashbacks of last week, but you're able to pull through this week with all the chaos. How you feel?
That was a tough race. It was long. It seemed like every corner, you were getting bumped. But that's, you expect that on a track like that. You kind of have to. But,
Sure.
yeah, it was a great race at W. I mean, I'm sure you guys enjoyed that.
Zuris, take me through that last lap and the amount of patience that you must have had to have to pick a spot.
So, I knew that we were like side by side coming to the finish line on the last, coming to the last lap. It was really I broke early. I braked early a lot to try to get cutbacks, and then on the last
Yep.
corner, I knew he was going to send it all. I knew he was going to give it everything he had on the last corner, so I
Yeah.
tried to brake early and get out the way, and then he drove past a little too far, and then I got the cutback. But yeah,
That was a very good
crazy.
last lap, very patient, and the early braking, it was real evident that the early braking and the undercuts, brilliant moves.
Yeah, thank you.
Indeed,
I hope you guys like that one though.
We
Oh,
got
man,
a great
enjoyed
watch out of that.
We enjoyed it fully.
Definitely a lot of those undercuts. That was your move for the race. There's a lot of tight corners on that track, and W was pushing his hardest. He saw clear air basically the whole race. And on the final restart, you're there to tell him it's not just him on the track.
Yeah, his car definitely looked a lot better than mine did. That's for sure.
It was a well-fought battle, Zuris.
Yeah,
You fought
thank
through, and congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Congrats, buddy.
I guess that'll do it for this
That'll do
week's event.
And just to clarify, your time was correct. AY, it is Wednesday at 8:30. Oh, I'm sorry.
Monday at 8:30.
No, it's Monday. Monday at 8:30. You were right.
So that should be our next race up. Be sure to tune in, everyone, as bronze is always pretty much just as good a race as gold. So be sure to tune in then. Thank you, everyone, for being here. And can't wait to see you next week.
Thank you, AY.
Oh, yes, thank you, Bumpskag, for being here as well.
I enjoyed every minute of it.